What is up, guys? It's Wednesday, and that means it's paintball question time. Paintball question time questions this week. What is the best beginner pump gun, the best small paintball companies, and how often should you oil and lube O-rings? If you're new here and you were like searching something on the YouTube and I don't know, maybe this video came up, do subscribe to this channel. These paintball question time videos come out every Wednesday. So subscribe, hit that bell notification to get updated when new videos go live. On to the actual video now. Colin H728 asked, looking to get into pump, I don't know which gun to buy or what to do, please help. So yeah, that's a common question. Colin, if you're looking to get into pump and you're not really sure what to do, I'm assuming you're not positive if you're all in on pump and you're not really sure if you like it all that much. So I'm always recommending people go with the Azoden KP3. And I talked about the KP3 and did a review on a KP3 a few months ago. Let's watch some of that. I really like the KP3. They're super reliable, they're simple, they're low pressure, they come with that two barrel backs, on-off, lever feed neck, and Azoden's pretty good with service. They're good about like replacing parts if they go bad, and if parts do go bad, stuff's pretty cheap. So KP3 is a great gun for someone new to pump, or if you just want a good gun on a budget, KP3 is an excellent choice. I think getting the KP3 is great because you're not 100% sure if you want to be playing pump and you're not investing like $500 or $800 on some crazy pump gun. So if you don't use it all that often, like once every other month or once a month, it's not something that you have sitting in a gear bag that's just collecting dust and worth a bunch of money. So the KP3 is awesome. I mean, they're built well, the pump stroke's really smooth, they come with a good barrel, they're super reliable, very simple. So I'm all in on the KP3. Look at the KP3, or if you don't want to spend that much money, you can also look at the KP2, the previous version of Azoden's pump, but I think it's worth the extra money to just get the KP3. Patrick H asked, Brad, I want to start supporting some of the smaller paintball companies, exclamation point. What do you think the best small paintball companies are? So let's just go over some categories within paintball and let's say like the best small companies. I'm gonna go with like pants and jerseys. PB Rack, I guess. I mean, they're a small company out of the Northwest making actually a lot of stuff. So you could get pants from them, jerseys from them, pads from them, and packs from them. So check out PB Rack. Guns, let's say gun-wise. There's not a lot of small companies making guns, but the smallest company that I would probably trust purchasing a paintball gun from is probably MacDev. I know I'd say kind of some wonky or weird things about MacDev, but they're probably the best small paintball manufacturer. Or I know I kind of say some weird or negative things about MacDev, but they're probably the best smallish paintball gun manufacturer. So maybe a Clone 5 or like Drone 2. Hoppers, I mean, there aren't really a lot of companies that are small that are making hoppers, but I guess if we had to choose a small company that's making hoppers, maybe the Pinocchio Speed, probably the Pinocchio Speed. They're probably the smallest company making a hopper that's good. And then I'd say Virtue. Some of you might not see Virtue as a small company, but they're definitely smaller than like GI and Valken and Die for sure. So Pinocchio Speed or Virtue Spires. Mask-wise, I don't know, there's really not any small mask companies. Maybe this new Push Unite mask, so maybe Push Paintball. Tanks, the Ninja. Ninja's a small company. They're much more smaller than like all these other companies like Die, Empire, Valken, whoever it is. So for sure Ninja. So that's all the like main categories, I guess. We had masks with Push, hoppers with Virtue or Pinocchio, tanks with Ninja, soft good apparel stuff with PB Rack, and guns with MacDev. Sean Whitmore asked, how often do I have to oil and lube my O-rings? So Sean, I don't think that there's one specific set answer for this, but what I typically like to tell people is 2 times you should grease it and oil, do maintenance stuff. So I like to tell people when you get home from playing paintball is a good time to put a fresh coat of grease or oil onto O-rings. Clean your gun, make sure it's all oiled and greased well so that if the gun sits around for, let's say, 6 months, it has some oil and grease on there so that it keeps O-rings fresh and stops them from drying out. And then it's also good so when you leave to go play paintball, like in the morning of or the day before, put a fresh coat of grease or oil on there so that, yeah, you have fresh grease and oil so that if some of that grease that you applied previously dried up, you have a fresh coat. But that's not gonna always be the case. So there's times when you maybe should grease more, or there's guns when you can oil or grease less. So like if you shoot 7 cases of paint throughout a day, I'd say at about case 2 would be a good time to apply some fresh grease or oil. And some of these Titmans or Spiders, you could go quite a while without doing any oil at all. So it's not like set in stone when you have to do it. So I feel like it's good to do it when you get home and before you go play. If you're confused about how much grease you should use, check out a clip right now on how much grease to use. So we don't want to over grease stuff, we just kind of want to wet the O-rings a little bit. Some of these guns require a little bit more, like that Bob Long gun I had, but we'll get to that too. So we're just going to apply a thin coat, right like that. I think you guys can see that. I hope you can. Let's hope that zooms and focuses. So just a light coat. You don't want to go super crazy. You can check that whole video out by clicking right up there in that info bar with a link to that whole entire video. Thank you guys, you submitted questions. Do submit more questions to me below or use hashtag PBQT and we'll find that question and possibly get to it. To check out more paintball question times, hit that big rectangular box, the Paintball Ruin My Life store for the square one, or subscribe by hitting that circle box.